Nerdrotic.com.
Welcome, travelers, to the fringes of reality, where the strange and mysterious meet, and the thin veil between fact and fiction is torn. Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier.
We're back. We're all awake.
Yay!
Barely.
I'm more than others.
Yeah. I drove 20 hours, dude, straight.
You're crazy.
All the way.
Crazy.
The whole way.
All the way from
Crazy.
Sheboygan to San Antonio. Left at 5:50 a.m. Got in at 1:30 a.m. Let's fucking go.
I know. And he
can
woke
make
up
this
so
show.
early.
Dead.
Ugh.
Dead. Starting to feel it now, but
It's kicking in.
I haven't left the
All the
house or
night.
anything crazy like that. So
If Gary falls asleep, I'll just poke him awake.
now
Oh,
we're
right, you're
gonna,
in the other room.
Crack the whip. That's what you do.
that's right.
Get back to work.
Get back to work. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier. We got a good month lined up for you guys. Got
Should
a
we
little-
reveal?
Yeah, we could reveal something. We might have a special episode, and
Or-
but we've got some guests.
Yeah. Next week, we got Hugh Newman and Andrew Collins.
together.
Together.
Yes, Megalithomania. Then
The week after, is it pronounced Mika?
it's Mika Hanks.
Mika Hanks.
Get hang.
Mika Hanks is here. Will be here. Yes, he is the MC of Cosmic Summit, but he's been around for a long time. He's, I believe, he's filled in for Coast to Coast. I'm pretty sure he did at one point. He's got his own show. He's done a bunch of stuff. Yeah, so it's gonna be cool.
And then at the end of the month, we have Mark Young.
Mark Young. This is gonna be right from Cosmic Summit. Love Mark.
We
Yeah.
love rocks here, okay?
We like rocks.
Like granite,
Rocking.
Like touching
granite.
limestone,
Petting them,
Limestone.
feeling them.
the
all of
nubs
it.
on them.
I knew nothing about rocks until I got all this stuff. Now I know something.
Like
I
a
never thought rocks would be this interesting,
geologist.
to be honest.
They're very
rocks are
interesting.
fascinating.
It's fun. Like that's when you drive around the Great American Southwest. Crigler is from the Great American Southwest. Used to live
Chicago,
there.
actually.
Well, you lived in Arizona, right?
I did live in Arizona.
Yes, you lived in Arizona, so you dwelled in the American
Oh, yes.
Southwest.
Amongst the
It's
rocks.
beautiful.
Amongst the
Beautiful.
rocks.
A lot of rocks.
Well, that's where you can see the geology and how things have changed because it's arid and stuff, outside of flash floods. You go to West Texas, you see a lot of, you
Yeah.
see basically the bottom of an ancient sea. That's all it is. It's awesome. It's really cool to look at. It's better than a bunch of trees or
Yeah, trees are
land.
overrated. All right, I
Covered
know
by-
they give us a lot of oxygen or whatever.
Or whatever.
I'd rather travel to Southwest. All I saw was snow on the way down. That's all I saw was
Snow is
effing
beautiful.
I love snow because it means less bugs and less reptiles. And y'all know how I feel about reptiles.
So true.
A lot of reptile hate coming from me. What's up with this?
It's not
Yeah.
hate, it's fear. I fear getting killed.
Geckos
by
are
them.
great. You ever see a bearded lizard?
You ever
Those
been
are
to
great.
Hawaii?
They're like
Extra girl?
huge.
No.
Okay, because there's little lizards all over the place. Like you'll walk
Oh.
back to your place and there's
Mm.
lizards on the wall everywhere, but
Um,
they're harmless. They're cool. Yeah.
Like Florida.
Yeah, you
Tons of
say
lizards
that.
here.
Until they crawl and kill you.
They're not
What have
gonna
they
kill
done?
you.
They've done.
What do you mean?
A gecko's
Oh,
never done
They're
anything
very
to you.
fast.
It's not a
They're very
Komodo
savage.
dragon, you know.
They can eat you in one bite.
Those don't exist in North America, though.
That don't exist unless
They're
they're in a
in-
zoo. San Diego
Zoos.
Zoo. They have one in San
They're
Diego
in,
Zoo.
they're
zoos
in
behind
zoos.
glass.
Okay, fine.
Toronto Zoo. Mhm.
Sure.
Toronto.
They could escape
Toronto.
and come to my house and kill me. You never
We're
know.
not going to talk about lizards or lizard people, chat. I see you, chat. We're not going to talk about maybe another episode.
Maybe
for
at
sure.
some point, yeah.
It's true. We should go there.
I'll make
eventually.
everybody here listen to David Icke.
Yeah, the lizard people, man.
Yeah,
Oh man.
dude, he's got a
on
show.
one.
It's from like what is it, chat? Correct me if I'm wrong. It's like 10 or 15 years ago, where he sold out Wembley, and he did a whole
Oh yeah.
8-hour
stage, right?
presentation
Yeah.
with fucking bands and stuff, and like watch the whole thing. It's amazing. It's
Cool.
amazing.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about megalithomania. Adam brought this our way. Megalithomania about 2 months ago did a video about the Red Pyramid, which you just don't hear. Not the red period, chat. The Red Pyramid.
Yeah.
Which you don't hear about much, and it's pretty interesting stuff come from that. Kind of along the power plant theory, but a little different.
Yeah.
A little different.
Right.
We also have,
It alludes to the different periods. You did this. Different pyramids had different things that they did.
Yes.
Certain pyramids
Responsibilities.
did healing supposedly. Other
Mhm.
pyramids had energy, production, and certain ones created fertilizer. Yeah,
chemical.
It's interesting. Yeah.
Chemical plant, basically. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Conversions. It's interesting theory. Very much so.
in disclosure news, we have some entertainment news that
Yeah.
might be kind of a bummer. I mean, it's like, okay, I want to see the movie, but like, yeah, we'll discuss that. And then
I think
the
you
Asteroid.
you probably all agree with me though, right? Well, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Mhm.
We'll get
Yeah.
there. Then the asteroid with the percentages going up that it's going to hit us.
It's like every day it goes up
It goes
another
up,
point.
it
What's
goes
going on?
down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
The closer it gets.
This math is sus.
Thankfully, it's not that big. It could destroy a city.
Yeah, as long as you're not in the place where it might, like, say if it blows up in the atmosphere. But we'll get to that too, because you don't want to be
Okay,
under
yeah.
it if that happens.
Yeah.
Sure. You don't want to
But-
be near a coast if it. Well, yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But before we start, should we talk about something that might keep you awake, Gary?
Yeah, coffee. I think we should
Ooh.
talk about. Oh, you know what? There it is, right there. We'll talk about 1775 coffee. This episode is brought to you by 1775 coffee. Some coffee is weak, some coffee is sad. Some coffee is so bad it probably votes Democrat. But 1775 coffee, it's bold, it's strong, it's America first in every single cup.
Yeah.
Single cup, yeah. The dark roast hits harder than a Trump comeback. The medium roast, smooth, no bitterness, just like life before Bidenomics. And the Vitality Mushroom Blend, woo, you go tripping. Fuels your brain like Trump at a debate. This is the coffee that Patriots drink, that Rumble drinks, and that I drink. Small farms, small batches, roasted fresh in Miami every week, because your coffee should be fresher than a White House press briefing trying to explain the economy, which is very hard because the journalists don't understand it. Whole bean ground pods. They've got it all. Go to 1775coffee.com, use code Nerdrotic for 15% off, and start every morning with coffee that actually stands for something. Oh, and every dollar spent enters you to win a Cybertruck and is it and $30? A Cybertruck and $30.
30 bucks.
$30 is it.
$30
for you.
Hey, $30.
That'll help
$30
with
ain't
some of that
nothing. No,
electricity.
it's $30,000.
Okay.
$30,000.
Oh, dang.
Much better.
It's a big difference.
So again, that's 1775coffee.com. Use code Nerdrotic, get 15% off, and then you get entered to win possibly a Cybertruck and $30. $30,000. Thank you, 1775 Coffee. Hey, I made $30 off a tweet. Off of one tweet. I'm gonna get some tacos off.
Oh, dang.
We got
Because
breakfast tacos.
I said Steve Rogers is Captain America, and it got 3 million impressions.
So that's a moneymaker right there.
Every
I'm gonna go out to
single
lunch.
time.
Captain America is
Yeah.
easy.
I can't believe that. It was nuts. My notifications are a mess right now. It's so funny.
Was that like a day ago?
People tried to community note it. It was 2 days ago, and it didn't blow up until like yesterday, I think. It's stupid.
The slow burn.
It's a slow burn. So welcome everybody. Welcome. Let's start with the red pyramid. Megalithomania has a great video on this, so I highly recommend you subscribe to their channel and watch it. There's Hugh. There's our buddy Hugh. Little scarf on, wearing all black when it's 120 degrees Fahrenheit outside.
Yeah, soaking up all those rays.
That's me in Egypt, by the way. I'm going to be in all black, sweating my balls off.
Wearing capris.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I understand it. It's hot there, and like the capris, the lower leg.
You need to keep
You need
enough
some of that
covered to keep cool, because
man-prees. Okay.
man-prees, or
They're
there could be
man-prees.
cargo shorts. You know, they got pockets.
Hugh Newman's the man, by the way. We love him to death.
Great dude.
Mm-hmm. So Adam, what drew you to this video?
Well, I follow Megalithomania.
Yes,
I
you
love
do.
their stuff. They're oftentimes putting stuff out that I had no idea. The red period. The red pyramid is cool. I didn't know anything about it, so this was cool to see, because it is very different than other interiors, and it's the interior that really drives the mystery of this. So this is in the Dasher necropolis outside Cairo in Egypt, just for those wondering where the red pyramid is. And it's awesome, and you don't really get a good scale of how big this pyramid is. I mean, I feel like that's oftentimes what happens with these pyramids. You don't really see. It's a pretty big pyramid. But the interior is what is so fascinating. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't always red. It used to have a casing stones that I believe are white, like a limestone. So now it's called the red pyramid, but the interior is really what. So here's Hugh inside one of the chambers, and there's these multiple chambers that are all linked, and there's no inscriptions. And I mean, I don't know if I want to get ahead of it, but
Get
yeah,
ahead. I think we should, because
fascinating.
these caverns are so interesting. Like, I find them fascinating.
They're set up in a very specific pattern. I showed it a little earlier. The way it's set up. There's one higher, and there's a lot, like a little chamber that you have to crouch in. It's not really a human. I mean, it seems to be uncomfortable to go through.
You have to crawl
At the bottom of it, and it connects at the upper level of the other two, of one right next to it, and then that one's further down, connected to one on the same level as the second one. If I could find here it is.
Yeah.
See, like
Here.
And there's no way to get to this one without
Climbing
through. There's a currently right now there's a staircase that they built so you can get up to that level, but it's disconnected.
Now, I believe it was making ammonia. Now, there is a process to making
That's a theory.
fertilizer. And if you look at modern day technology on how they would do this, they actually use a 3-chambered system. Is it in here? Yeah, here. It's perfect.
Oh, the Haber.
Here you go. So you can see you have
Haber process.
the one all the way on the left.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine. Well, one is
switch back then.
higher up, and it has something to do with pressures and the way that the volumes push different gases and then adds pressure to certain points, creates the ammonia. And
Yes.
and they could replicate it essentially with this design.
So you see the steps of the pyramid,
like the roof.
like little chambers. As water rises, it intensifies the pressure, and a lot of the gases that are at least in the first 2 chambers are not able to become water or aqueous, if in scientific terms. So it compresses the gas and causes a chemical reaction in order to do the steps to make ammonia. without getting too into the details, which is kind of cool, which I guess they have some sort of scientific knowledge to be able to do these things.
And ammonia is used in fertilizer, agriculture, stuff like that.
Yeah. So,
was there evidence that there was a pharaoh or somebody important entombed inside of this pyramid, or is it just a standalone pyramid with this as the internal structure?
Yep.
I think Hugh said that. I mean, just like with all the pyramids, they said at one time there was a sarcophagus, but it's long gone. If there was, I think,
and also, I mean, how do you know they didn't just find it and go, oh yeah,
exactly
right, just throw one in.
Yeah, you bury me here.
And you don't hear about this pyramid very much now. If you go back to that one chamber real quick, it looks like the King's Chamber. It's the same. It's got the same ceiling as the King's Chamber in the Great Pyramid.
Yeah.
So
one of the things
interesting
that led them to believe this person's theory is there are markings on the chamber as you successively go up the little steps. It could be condensation, but it also would make sense if they used it as a pressurized chamber to make ammonia. And they said they had microscopic analysis of these walls. And they also found traces of different minerals or materials, like iridium and uranium. Those are the two that they mentioned in the video. But there apparently is a laundry list of.
This is the tour guide that was talking about
mentioned it. So
the tour guide,
hey,
tour guide.
My nose,
the Texas came out.
Yeah,
tour guide. Get on there.
How would these substances get on these walls without it becoming like some scientific experiment or process?
Right.
It's hard to say. I can't remember. Correct me if I'm wrong, Adam. If you talked about like how did people get into this one, and if looters hit it already.
This was that fella up there.
Yeah, he's part of. This guy knows his shit. By the way, I'm blanking on his name right now. The chat will know it. I'm completely blanking.
I think he was also with Luke. He was with Luke, wasn't he?
With Ben. He definitely. He might have been with Luke. I don't know for sure, but he's definitely been with Ben. Ben. That's who Ben goes on the tours with from Uncharted X. This guy knows his shit. And I knew his name when I had Yusuf. Thank you.
Yusuf Awan.
Yes, it's Yusuf. I knew his name when I had more sleep. Okay. But this guy, you'll see him in a lot of videos. He's pretty well versed.
His father was a historian, an Egyptian historian. I'm pretty sure his entire family line was like Egyptian historians, record keepers.
The ancient wisdoms.
Yo, no joke.
Ben from our
Uncharted X. Yeah, I saw they were asking.
Yeah, Ben from Uncharted X.
It's just it's a very specific design. Why would they make these 3 chambers and this configuration look the way that they do?
Doesn't look
a fascinating explanation, though.
It definitely doesn't look easy. The fact that dudes in loincloths running around with sandals on making this stuff, it's difficult to believe. There had to be something more. Maybe it's completely explainable, but there had to be something more with no wheel. People talk about ramps. Okay, where's what's left of the ramp? And maybe it got a bunch of this stuff got looted, especially the casing stones got looted for Cairo. I don't know how far this one's away for Cairo, but I know on the Giza Plateau.
It's in Cairo. It's like right outside Dasher.
There's some of the casings.
These are some of the casings. Yeah, this was originally covered over. That's why they're still there.
Yeah.
And that's the capstone was actually rebuilt. Right there on the right. There you go. Yeah. Just you could see most of it's actually just concrete that they remade it. What I find interesting is that this was, if this was some sort of chemical conversion plant type of pyramid, right? How the hell did they know how to do that?
Right.
Right.
Like,
To
how did they
then
figure that out?
suddenly create this mass, like, you know what? Let's scale this up. Yeah. Let's do this. Let's make a 300-meter tall version of this process to make enough ammonia to create fertilizer to, use on the land.
It's like their own industrialization process.
It is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And there
it's-
has to be
it's-
something to lead up to that, right?
That's what I'm saying. Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. It's 100 meters tall. Just had to double check that.
and it's a little more squat. As he was talking about that, the dimensions of the pyramid itself is shorter. I think it's
The
like
angle?
43 degrees instead of the typical 52. I think he says is a normal 52-degree sides to the pyramids. This is a little flatter, a little more squat. It's separated off. It's not part of the Great Complex. So, like, is this a industrial area that they were like, let's build this big factory so we can make a bunch of ammonia so we can fertilize all of our crops? It very much seems like that.
They
So
also mentioned a monolith or a megalith, sorry, that they possibly built on top of.
Yeah.
yes,
that.
yes.
And
Which
I mean-
is
Because they dug below one of the chambers,
yeah, so
and this was
here, yeah. Show signs of it.
building on top of something else, which
Yeah.
even in Giza, there was tunneling that they think they built
that
upon a sacred place that was
diagram?
already existing.
It's like, why? What was so special about this place specifically to do this on top of it? So
Well,
who knows?
so if we think they need ammonia for fertilizer, that means they must have been growing stuff. All right.
Right.
Not a lot of
Agriculture.
agriculture. You could certainly do that around the Nile, but like you couldn't do it anywhere else. Really?
maybe they were making it for trade as well.
Maybe.
Ooh, selling, making money.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But again,
Yeah. Or trade hub.
what we don't have, well, okay, academia explains it as the other, like you'll see other pyramids in Egypt and like the shitty ones, and they say that in some cases they're the ones that come before, but like we don't know the dating. But it certainly looks like the pyramids of Giza were the first. So what led up to that, and why did it degrade? Now, again, if you want to explain it just completely like academia, then it's just the evidence of the rise and fall of civilizations. Like civilizations degrade. That certainly happened. I mean, Rome had a lot better plumbing than a lot of Europe, even like in recent history. So that certainly happens. But what built up, like Egypt still pops out of nowhere. And yes, there's pre-Diluvian. So like is some of this you were talking about in things getting passed on. Let's just go to bread. Let's go to wine, even beer. So there is some evidence that they had mead, right? Mead or beer, something like that. Same thing. At Göbekli Tepe. Well, that's a process that you don't just like fall into.
Whoops.
Oops.
All my hops sat around for a while.
Yeah.
Like,
It's not like making a peanut butter cup where a guy like accidentally,
yeah. Oops.
Remember the peanut butter cup commercials? There's a guy randomly eating a jar of fucking peanut butter outside for some reason, and some guy drops his chocolate bar.
You got my chocolate, your chocolate, and my peanut butter.
Peanut butter. Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
What?
We
know.
accidentally did chemistry and made foodstuffs. What? Is that possible?
I guess with I mean, it's not possible to make printout, but like there's processes. Like when did it get invented? Was it passed down? Were these things passed down? And math. The meter, we're finding out like the meter was supposedly invented by the French. Did the French take credit for it? They just rediscovered something that was already around forever. So who did the original measuring? It couldn't have been the Egyptians, because wasn't it the Greeks who get the credit for all the maths, right?
Yeah.
So it couldn't have been the Egyptians.
Everything.
Yeah.
The Greeks get a lot.
They get a lot of credit, and their stuff was cool. Don't get me wrong. Okay, I like Euros. Euros are fucking good. They taste good.
My favorite Georgia Giant Slayer he's like, yeah, they created everything and then got lazy and stopped doing anything.
He's
Like,
Greek.
take a
He's
nap.
Yeah, George is Greek, by the way. Yes.
Yeah.
Very Greek. No, well, the fact of the matter is the Greeks were had a prior civilization, right?
Mhm.
That's even in Plato. So maybe we're looking so far back in antiquity, and maybe this was put. They said it was built 2500 BC.
Double check that.
I think he said 2005 or 20. I heard a 5 in there somewhere, but so a couple thousand years BC before Christ.
2575 BC.
2575. I knew I had heard a 5. I just forgot the 7.
That's
Sorry.
what it was, yeah.
There you go. Well, don't rely on me right now. But so even if it was built, like, where do they get these measurements? So I was talking about this with my son, and this isn't a theory I've come up with. This is something Graham's talked about. This is something that goes all the way back. That there were wisdom keepers and there were priests and there were people who had access to all this great information. They kept it to themselves because it's power. Information is power. And the problem is they died out, and they were very, very specific with who they passed it down to, and eventually just got forgotten when a civilization gets conquered or it falls, and it never made it to the masses. That's been the running theory for Egypt and a lot of the megaliths. This is like a lot of leftover stuff from a prior civilization. Either it is the real stuff or it is rebuilt stuff that the whatever you want to call them, the Watchers, who survived the Cataclysm and then tried to restart civilization. But needing ammonia, that is very industrial. And why would you need that much of it?
Yeah.
So maybe there was some trade.
That's what I would assume. I mean, Egypt's a trade hub. You've got the Nile. You could trade up and down the Nile. You could trade outside, to other countries.
Or maybe the Green Sahara and
if we go way back,
Atlantis Empire was all of North Africa, South Europe. Like,
they're just transporting it over. And
what if they're like, hey, that's where we go make our fertilizer for all of Atlantis.
Look at what they're finding in the rainforest in Brazil that Dan Vasquez isn't burning. What is slashing and burning? Like, look at how much they're fighting. So what is under the sands of the Sahara?
I would love to know.
There's so much under there.
Just get some leaf blowers. We just need a few of them. All right. Maybe 25,000 of them. And we just run them all at the same time.
We'll go to Home Depot. We'll get a few guys.
Yeah.
Get the leaf
Don't need that
blowers.
many.
They're not there anymore. I don't know if you've been paying attention. They're gone.
Yeah, they get kicked out. That's what we do. We don't kick them out. We just put them to work. All right. We just take them over to Africa.
So deport them to Africa.
It's not deport. You see, you're phrasing it wrong. You have to.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah,
it's fine. And then we bring them back.
It's reassigned.
And just drop them off on the way.
Reassignment.
It's a reassignment.
You're being reassigned to Africa, North Africa. It's a bad reassignment.
No, it was a great video. And I've heard of the Red Pyramid, but I've never seen the inside of it. And we're still finding out new stuff, Adam. The Bar caves, they did Megalithomania did a video on those, and we've talked about those. I didn't know shit about those things until recently. So there's still, this is why this is the best subject, guys.
There's so much.
Still finding new stuff, new information is coming in, and some of it's actually real and factual, and it's not just some fuzzy fucking photograph for some guy who wants to grift. It is a bunch of amateurs running to these locations, doing their tours to help fund them, and they're asking real questions, and it's forcing archaeology to acknowledge it. Now, like, archaeology gets a bad rap because they deserve it, but there's actually a lot of them like working with these guys, like trying to get to the bottom of it. And that's what like Cosmic Summit, I think the whole point of it, George really wants to bring in academics there too, and they debate and they do like, and it's not like
what I really like about it.
It's not like there's fights breaking out in the hallways, between Graham Hancock and Dibble, although I would pay good money to see that one.
Yes. I did see a guy running in the hallway. So maybe there was a fight somewhere else. I
Maybe.
didn't see it. I don't know.
Oh,
Well,
maybe he was
Randall talks about reading a new scientific paper every single day for 40
Yes.
years, and that is
Yes.
very impressive. But what that means is he talks about it. He's reading different types of science, like all different avenues. Doesn't matter what. He's not only reading archaeology. He's not only reading geology, whatever, everything. He just reads whatever, all different spectrum of science. And that's what we really need. We need to bring other perspectives into this to look at the red pyramid and go, you know what? This looks just like the way they make ammonia. And then you compare them and it's like, oh shit, that's literally
weird.
is the exact same process.
And
if
there's
you were
chemical
to scale it
stains.
up.
Cross
And there's
studies.
look at that. There's chemical stains.
look at this
there's
diagram.
We
chemical
need
stains.
that cross reference.
This is literally everything inside the pyramid. It's just this one mechanism.
Yeah.
What? It's very specific.
Right. It's just those 3 chambers. Like,
And I love that guy's explanation because he likened it to that first invention of how we produce ammonia. Very same process. Very same process as how this is laid out. So I was like, it's very compelling. I'm like, can we get some scientists to think on that hypothesis, put it to the test? Could you recreate the mechanisms that you need to make ammonia in this model? Just test it, see if you can. And then we say yes or no. And then we move on. And like, there seems to just be like, we're not going to look into this. That's stupid. That's whatever. Like,
Yeah,
no, I want to look into it. That's cool.
Well,
I want some smart people looking into this.
If you go back to all these ologies started out as fucking hobbies for the most part.
It was
Right.
wild man out in the woods
So,
doing stuff.
Archaeology, correct me if I'm wrong. Pretty sure British Empire. You know, I don't know if maybe the Romans were doing some of it. I don't know if they cared that much about history, but correct me if I'm wrong. But they started out as people who were just interested in this stuff, you know, and they were usually the people who had the time. So they were obviously the elite of that civilization where they didn't have to like go to a factory every day and work, you know, so they had a lot of time to sit around on their ass and read books and get into this stuff. And it wasn't some academic feeding them a line. They were just grabbing every book they could and reading as much as they could. As far as, you know, geologists in America, it used to be the priests who used to travel around. It was their hobby. It was their side hustle.
Yeah.
And they were looking for evidence of the flood, but they were still looking at the rocks and the ground and like, why is this river here? Why is there, what is this big rock? And then you find out it's a glacier erratic and like, in, you know,
how did it get here?
How did it get here? You know, that's how it started.
Yeah.
And it was just people looking for information.
So I think we're back in that cycle of we've gotten to the point where people get, you know, jaded on it and it's just academics and they're just trying to hold on to their tenure and stay getting paid, doing their thing. But I think there's that we're moving past that and we're getting back to that people in the wild just looking at stuff again.
Yeah.
Because like we're seeing new stuff all the time.
Exactly, Garrett. Sorry. And like that's the checks and balances come from debate, you know,
between those.
Luke will be out there
heads.
going, nah, it doesn't go like that. And somebody go, no, Luke, you're wrong, you know, and they have a little fight on Twitter or they work it out on a stream or something like that. That's how it's supposed to be. You need to have checks and balances because yes, there is so much fucking bullshit out there, but I'm willing to listen to the bullshit too, because even amongst the bullshit, there might be something, there might be a kernel of truth, you know, or somebody might have a good observation. You know, like people give Ancient Aliens tons of shit and, you know, maybe they deserve it, but I find the show wildly entertaining, by the way. But Ancient Aliens has driven a lot of people to Graham and to Randall and to Joe, because whether you don't have to believe in the alien hypothesis, but they have put more eyes on those sites than anybody. They fly out there, they do the filming. Giorgio's running around with his fucking hair, you know, and you know, they go to Malta and they talk about giants, like it's and that brought it to the masses, and then people start, you know, digging even deeper and going, okay, I don't buy the alien thing, but holy shit, you know,
something I think we're getting more of as well is like you have those people that can take it from being a boring classroom textbook to an exciting, entertaining
Yes.
story. You know, like we need to bridge that. We need to get the two types of people together and use that left brain, right brain, and make it entertaining for the masses. And kind of, that's how we got all of the like expeditions and stuff like that. Those were funded back in the day because it was, oh, the people in Africa, you don't know what they look like. Well, here we're going to go and bring back photos or bring back text and art from these places that you've never seen before. And then people would pay them, right? Or it would come from the crown. But like a lot of this was funded because of the entertainment factor. So we got away from that. And I think we're going back to that because we're seeing like Graham bringing people back to these sites. I think these sites are getting way more traffic now because of people like Graham and others out there completely. So it's an exciting time. It's an exciting
I totally agree. And you could not be more right, Garrett. Like the presenters matter. Okay.
Yeah.
You could be a great researcher, but maybe find yourself a presenter out there. You know, like Randall's compelling. Randall's all over the place. He takes 10 hours to explain stuff, and I want to listen to every minute of it. But like what's great about Hugh and Andrew is they put this channel together. They have little bite-sized clips. They have about 30-minute videos that they do. It's great presentation. Love the music. They get their little drones going. But Hugh's a great presenter. You're walking through and he's quietly with his British accent walking through the pyramids and explaining like, this is fascinating. You know, the residents in here. So, you know, it's like he's really fucking good at it. And by the way, George did steal his hairstyle from Giorgio from Londo. No, but like how many there's like 352,000 views on this video. So some academic standing in front of some board who doesn't go there, and this is what they're getting pissed about, is there is stuff on the Red Pyramid out there, but it's not getting out there as much because the presentation is fucking boring. You know, like and history is not boring. They've made history boring. Like even completely linear, alternative history is fucking crazy and cool, and they've made it boring as fuck. So they need to work on that somehow. But that's why they're getting their ass kicked by these other people, because we have better presenters out there. Like Luke's a really good presenter. Like Luke gets out there, he does a little fucking thing, and that's Jimmy. We love Jimmy. Jimmy fires people up, but you know what? His videos are so well put together, and
compelling. It's compelling. It creates a narrative,
Hi, Sophie. You're boring.
You're boring.
I think
Flint Dibble, you're boring.
You're boring.
I think good partnerships where we can like marry academia with the alt archaeology, if you want to call it that, would be great. A lot of the stuff that we're learning, maybe we need the minds of some of the people who know the intricacies of all the little details that maybe we don't all know. And then you create something more presentable, kind of like TV. Bill Nye the Science Guy was great for kids. So repackaging it for a more normie audience is great.
The Y-Files.
Less bitchy.
You got a fucking hecklefish on there. And
yes,
everybody loves it.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great. So
fantastic.
Yeah. Oh man, they're compilations. Listen, the supercut idea, we completely stole it from them.
Totally.
Completely stole it from the Y-Files. But and it's really fun, and it's a good idea, and people have given us lots of good feedback. So thank you.
Thank you.
But no, I listen to that shit all the time. Like all the time. He just did one on like last week on pyramids and stuff. I listened to the whole damn thing, all 3 hours. It took me like 3 nights to do it, but I listened to the whole damn thing. And I've watched most of those videos before. So it's in the presentation, and it's just about it's okay to ask questions. And what you guys brought up is the academics just don't want to deal with it, and they say bullshit. And not all academics are like that. There's some cool ones out there. There are. Yep. We need to hear more from them, and that's always been the problem. Who knew about the red fucking pyramid? Nobody. Like, I didn't even think much of it because I just thought it was just some derelict, dumb pyramid. I had no idea what was going on in the inside there. And listen, an argument can be made. This is a tomb. It's like, think about mounds.
Oh.
Think about mounds. Mounds supposedly predate the pyramids. They do. and it was burying an elder or a king in a giant mound. I mean, this shit. There's fucking mounds in Lord of the Rings. Okay, so like people have known about the burial mounds forever, and okay, you could hide a sarcophagus, but we've never found one in except say for one in Egypt, like in a major pyramid. I almost said period, dude. I almost said it.
Almost did it.
Almost said it. But you know, we were watching another video that X-Ray Girl put up there, and as far as like trying to keep people out and hide treasure, it's hard to buy considering some of the way these things are constructed. If you get inside, it leads you to it's like, look at this grand hall. This is where the treasure is. Come and get it, you know.
Yeah. And it's not like the pyramid is hidden. It's kind of like, oh, hey,
yeah,
it's a giant pyramid I see from miles around.
It's got a golden top on it.
What I find
like
strange,
this is
and there might be a perfectly good explanation for this, but what I find strange is man as a species has never been afraid to do a little work to get to some treasure. Now, if they were willing to do the work to build this, and you're telling me this is the most perfect safe ever made, like nobody ever tried to loot this, got a bunch of people back when, well, slavery's been a thing in Africa for a long time, still is, by the way. You get a bunch of people, nobody, like, I know people tried in the past, but it doesn't seem like they just kind of half-assed it, you know. And then people will walk around jungles just on the rumor of El Dorado and get killed for it. Hundreds and hundreds of people. So it's a little hard to believe. Maybe there was some knowledge of like there's nothing in there because it's something else. I don't know, but the nature of these structures is so fucking beyond everything we've seen from the past, and it's older, right? You got the ziggurats and stuff, which supposedly predate it, but like we don't actually know because you can't date stone. You can't date stone. Hey, there's Andrew
Collins.
Andrew Collins. You know, even like we were looking at real quick at the Bar caves. If you, dude, that stuff, it looks futuristic.
Dude, it's perfectly like the polished level on it. It's on a lot of the. Then they tested. They said it's as smooth as glass.
Yes.
Yes.
In some of it,
As
like,
industrially made glass today. Those walls in there, like, how do they get it to that level in the dark with limited air supply and light? You know, like how did they do it? That's the thing you said earlier. It's like, it's okay to ask questions. I think it's also okay to not know the answers. With the current academia, like you said, like they don't want to even consider these questions because they don't have answers to them. So they push it offhand. It's like, it's okay to not have the answer and to say you don't have that. Like, we just don't know. And I think the ones that do say that, I respect a whole lot more, that don't try to obfuscate and ignore questions. Just say, look, we don't have the information for that. That's okay.
Michio Kaku says all the time, it's like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's really difficult for complete narcissists and egomaniacs to say the phrase, I don't know. Right. It's very difficult.
Everyone knows someone like that in their life.
Yep. And you know, it's a very easy thing to say. Just say you don't know. You don't have to know everything. I don't know shit.
But I don't know anything. See, from right from the beginning.
On my long drive, I was listening to a lot of streams. I think I listened to both D-Day Cobras. I listened to the entire EFAP. I listened to Before School's interview with Randall Carlson that I was just telling Adam about, where Randall Carlson's talking about like fucking dropping acid and how he got out of the Vietnam War, which is a pretty trippy story. And then he gets into the moon and he goes there, and I fucking love it. So he's talked about this briefly before, that that the moon might have been a place to escape to during a cataclysm, and not recently, like deep in the past, and they had a way to get there. And I love that. Like, let's have these conversations. Sounds fucking crazy. Let's go.
Like a raft.
Let's do it. You know, that might have been the Ark, you know, or the Ark is a way to get to the moon. because there's something very, very, very strange about our moon. But
it is weird.
in that conversation, they talked about the possibility of the Giza power plant, right? Christopher Dunn's theory, which is great. And how it exploded. And then you get into Robert Schoch's theory, not the comet theory, but the Robert Schoch theory, which I am definitely leaning towards now, as far as the what caused the Younger Dryas. And again, I'll find the name of the book right now. I'll do it. It's read by Mika Hanks. I was listening to it last night. Forgotten Civilization by Robert M. Schoch with Catherine Ulisse. It's available on Audible. You can get it on Amazon. He goes into he describes the solar event that happened. It's basically plasma belt. I'm going to simplify the shit out of it because I'm a simple man. Plasma belched from the sun, and it fucked our atmosphere so badly that we were getting lightning strikes 1,000 more times more powerful than a normal lightning strike. So we're talking about a bolt of lightning that could be like a half a mile wide, like just striking the earth. And that would explain all the fires. Oh, dude, it'd be deafening. Like, it was a bad time for everybody. And maybe that's what struck the pyramid. There's a pyramid that looks like it's blown up. There's a pyramid in Egypt that looks like it's straight up blown up.
And there's that one that looks like that it has been burned in Abu Roash or something like that. And it's basically, and it's interesting too, because the Snake Bros were observing how the pyramids that were deconstructed all had the same base, a similar base. So if you look at Abu Roash, and it looks like a pyramid used to be there, and the base still exists, but there's char on the walls.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I was watching the Pyramid Code again the other day, and I saw that, and I'm like, oh shit! If this is a base, then this pyramid might have just been maybe it exploded also, because it was a PhD. I don't remember the woman who was there, but she was like, this is evidence of them using some sort of fire, something, and I'm like, or maybe it blew up, or maybe there's something cataclysmic happened to this pyramid that used to be here, and this is just the base that's still existing.
I wish I could remember the videos, but Schoch is in Egypt pointing out all the vitrification like everywhere, which is melted rock.
Is this it? Is this Abu Roash?
This is that that deep that they were saying it's the base.
It's the base of the pyramid.
It's the base of the pyramid, and this is like the under the basement, I guess. And it was basically all removed. So we don't know how it was removed, but it seems like it was
looted. They just didn't do
destroyed.
It to any other pyramids. They just did it to
this level. Yeah, to this level, like removing it down to its basement.
Our work here is done.
Normal.
Or maybe it was a half a mile wide lightning bolt that just
maybe
blew it up.
A pyramid.
And maybe
it was a pyramid.
I think that there was a combination. Like, I think there was an impact theory is correct. I think the micronova theory, the mantle decoupling theory could have happened as well. I mean, that I think explains all the scarring across all of North Africa that looks like water just came from the Mediterranean and washed all the way out into the Atlantic. I think all of the things can be true, and that's why it was so cataclysmic that reset society to the point of us just knowing absolutely nothing. That's what set in the amnesia that we just like, all right, well, square one, where are we at? Oh shit, there's pyramids. Let's start building a town here. Cusco, right? How many civilizations have lived in Cusco? I don't know.
No, dude. And Schoch doesn't just talk about like the solar event. He gets into other possibilities too. Like the galactic wave. That's a chapter in this, the galactic wave, which is just freaky to think about.
Is that
it is freaky. That's what
we watched the documentary. Yeah, with the massive spiral that goes from the center of
it belches basically every 10,000 years or something like that, and we
Every
wouldn't know about it
6,000.
every 6,000 years.
It hits our sun, yeah. Every 12,000, it's a stronger version. I don't remember
Yes.
exactly. It's like off and then stronger. Yeah. And
And he
we're due for the
describes-
stronger version, by the way.
Yeah, we're overdue. We're actually overdue. According to the book,
Man.
we're about 2,000 years overdue.
Why is
give or
everything
take.
like lining up to like right now? What's up with that? Why are we overdue or it's about
What a
to happen?
time to be alive. Oh.
Yeah, maybe we live in interesting times.
Yeah, we certainly do.
We certainly do. But he describes it in the book, and it's terrifying. It's great. It's wildly. I love that I listen to this like cataclysmic stuff before I go to bed. It's like, this is how the world's going to end. You know,
The sun explodes and everything around you burns up and dies. Great.
And then if you
Sleep-
don't die, you
sleep
might
well.
freeze to death.
Yeah.
Right.
Speaking of that, there's a meteor on its way here in 2032. And we've talked about it before, but the percentages keep going up on if it's going to hit. And I saw Neil deGrasse Tyson actually did a video on this, on the possibility of like where it would hit. And he basically said a little below the equator, right? And anywhere from like, I don't know, what's north of Peru? Bolivia? From Bolivia, Guatemala, to Western Africa. So we're good in America, unless of course it like hits in close to the coast in the Gulf of America,
That dang Gulf.
the Gulf of America, or you're anywhere near the ocean. Size is 130 to 300 feet. All right, so that's bigger than Tunguska, but it's about the size of Meteor Crater in Arizona, which put a big old hole in the ground. It's amazing to see, by the way. It's about a mile. It's about a mile around.
So if that doesn't happen, in the middle of nowhere in a desert, could be pretty bad.
I mean, the
Like a
chances of
city
it. Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing that overpopulation is kind of bullshit, and there's a very good chance it won't hit anybody. But I mean, just drive around the Western United States. Talk to me about overpopulation. Drive through New Mexico where you don't see anybody for 2 hours.
If it hits the water, though, like you're getting tsunamis.
Well, it's bad either way. So
There's water, earth, air. All of them are horrible.
Let's start with air. So air will be probably the least destructive thing, as long as it doesn't blow up over a city. If it blows up over a city, everybody's fucking dead within a certain couple mile radius, depending on how big it is. But it's like blowing up a nuclear bomb in the atmosphere. You'll be vaporized. Now it's not big, so we don't have to worry about the punching the hole in the atmosphere and absolute zero going to the ground for a second, which they described in America before, where if a meteor even blows up in the atmosphere, it creates a wave in our atmosphere, and just like the absolute zero space hits the ground. They did that in The Day After Tomorrow, which is
where it slowly goes, though.
Just based on Art Bell and Whitley Strieber's book, the coming of the great global superstorm, something like that. Jake Gyllenhaal runs from absolute zero and gets near the fire. Somehow he's able to evade it.
It moves very slowly across.
Very slowly.
You're able to outrun it.
Oh, it's so funny, dude. Remember, like the helicopter gets caught in it.
Yeah.
So that's probably the least harmful. If it hits the ground, it's going to put a bunch of ejecta up in the atmosphere that's going to fall back down on fire. So there'll be a double event. Plus, it's going to put a bunch of dust in the air that could cool the earth. But we did have a massive volcano blow up in the South Pacific just 4 years ago. It messed with our weather a little bit, but not terrible, right? But that thing was huge. That thing was fucking huge. And that put water vapor up too. So that's the other thing.
Volcano that could go off right now in the Pacific Northwest, outside Portland. Isn't that where they were just talking? Like, if it goes off, it's like Portland's in trouble.
That'd be the place to do it.
What's the volcano near Portland? Help me, chat. I'll look it up.
Hey, look, this one says down. It's down 1.5.
Oh, that's good.
1.1. Nice.
Is it Mount Hood,
Mount Tabor.
Mount
maybe?
Tabor,
Is that it?
or Newberry Volcano? Probably
I'm waiting
Hood,
for
right?
chat. There's Mount Hood said in chat.
It's not Rainier, right?
No, it's not Rainier.
That's a mountain.
No, it's a volcano. Mount Rainier.
That's a volcano?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I just read that they're worried about it. That it could
Mount Cringe.
it could pretend. Someone said something along the lines of like, "Oh, finally, there's."
Yeah. Well, it's Portland. No. Yeah, I didn't hear about that. So if it hits the ground, it puts up a bunch of ejecta that's going to fall down as like little fiery meteors. It's going to start fires. It's going to kill people, depending on where it is. If it hits the ocean, if it's 300 feet and it hits the ocean, like in the middle of the Pacific, depends on how fast, there's going to be a tsunami, right? But I don't honestly don't know how serious. If it hits like shallower water, like in the Gulf of America, then it could shoot a bunch of water in the atmosphere, and it causes tsunami depending on where you are. It's just it's tsunami time, but it would be if it was a bigger meteor, it'd be much worse. So I pick your poison on that one. I would say the best case scenario is landing in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. I think
it should get. I think it should get close. I think we should have a very near miss, and people get real freaked out, and understand we need to do something about this stuff.
I thought 2013, the one in Russia, would do that, because that woke my ass up to it. I was like, holy shit!
I didn't even hear about it.
Dash cam footage.
It's incredible. So it was the size of like a van, and it blew up in the atmosphere, and the sound wave miles and miles, like blew out glass, injured 1,000 people, and this was in Siberia, so it's lightly populated, but there's a lot of dash cams in Russia, so a lot of people got to see it. They even figured out where it landed, right?
What's the name of that?
I can't pronounce it.
I had it last week. I don't remember now.
No,
I had to look it up.
There it is, right there.
Chelyabinsk.
Chelyabinsk, right?
Chelyabinsk. Yeah.
It is Mount Rainier, by the way. It was
Mount Rainier. Mount Rainier. Okay.
It is. It's Rainier. There's an I at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. Mount Rainier. I've been on Mount Rainier.
Yeah. That might blow up soon.
Hang on. Really?
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird paranormal stuff going on over there, around that area. A lot of 411 stuff happening. Here it is.
Hot damn.
Like the sun for a second.
Yep. And remember, the sun's not up. So
yeah, it's set.
Get one that's the shock wave.
Oh yeah, there's a great one of the shock wave. Let me find that.
They're just casually walking, like, oh, that was cool.
Yeah, hang on. I got one. Did you find one, Garrett?
Researching. Oh my god. Going to.
Yeah, you put yours up, then I'll put mine up.
That's so cool.
Wow.
So
you got the shockwave.
I got the shockwave. I got the shockwave. Hang on. Let me full screen that bad boy. Not that you're mainly doing it for the sound here. So it's already. So this is what I didn't think about at all, was how much time it takes for the shockwave to hit, because everybody was like looking at the meteor that had already blown up. So here is the shockwave.
Wow.
And then all the glass.
Yo, God.
There's a better video.
It's close too. It's right over that.
There's a better video. I think they edited that down. Hang on, let's see if I can find it. There's a better video where they're like staring at it for a good long time before the shockwave hits. Let's take a look. Talk amongst yourselves.
This is supposedly the actual recovered rock.
Oh wow, it's so small.
Yeah.
I know a good
It
chunk
was
of
big
it.
rock that came from sky. It blew up.
It gets
The person's like,
disintegrated.
I was here first.
Yeah,
It's mine.
It's
I
like
called
Black
it.
Friday
No.
at TV. Like, this is mine. I'm here.
Yeah.
That's 100%
Not
what he's
letting
doing.
go.
He's like, my hand. That's a big poopy.
It makes me think of Joe Dirt
Yeah.
with his frozen poop. Oh my gosh.
Oh, here's another angle of it too.
More watched it.
Oh, British lady.
Dang.
Yep. Here we go. That's not it. Where's mine?
That is yours.
That is yours.
No, I've shared the wrong one.
Where's mine, damn it?
Where's mine? There it is. That's god damn it! I got rid of the wrong one. I got rid of the wrong one. I'm tired. Sorry. There was a compilation, and I had it set up. Damn it!
It would have been perfect if I didn't mess it up.
Dun, 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 dun. Where is it? Where is the?
Get some
15
information on it. It's a cool video. This
Yeah.
is from NASA Goddard. While we're waiting, just watch this.
Go watch that. Yeah.
Oh.
Beautiful. Oh, cool.
Wow.
Space is so cool. We're actually so lucky our planet hasn't been hit so many times.
It's kind of insane when you
Thanks,
really
Jupiter.
think about it.
Yeah.
It's insane
Oh,
that
yeah.
we haven't got hit more.
This is it. This is it. Holy shit! Be ready for this one.
This is a cool video. I'm going to save this.
Save it.
Bookmark.
Bump, 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 bump.
Yeah, Jupiter's like a big, huge shield.
It
fills
is.
in a lot.
Here we go. You
It
ready?
also slingshots a lot actually
It does.
inward. But between him and the sun, we're good.
И сгорел там, да? Вот тут. Ну.
But Jesus,
Dang, dude.
А что думаешь, может спутник там уже же падал, они
Damn.
oh wow.
It's not
And then
scary at all.
And there's pop. There's pop after that. The hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So rock and roll.
Oh yeah, this poor lady.
Oh. Oh my
Dude got knocked
God.
over.
Two people got freaking blown into that room.
Yeah.
Oh. She's so lucky she didn't get hit harder. Oh my God.
And they're like, let's get the fuck out.
Time to leave.
Well, and imagine if you're inside and you had no idea that a meteorite just flew past. You know, like you don't know, you didn't see it,
No.
and then suddenly just
And it already explodes. and like you're not going to think about, oh, the shockwave takes like 2 minutes to get here or a minute to get here. Look at this. Whoa.
yeah, you probably
Yeah.
think you're under attack or something.
Ну что, ребята,
Oh no.
счастливого, счастья,
Wow, those kids are so composed. What?
Yep. Fucking Russians.
They're like, oh wow,
No
the
biggie.
windows. Okay.
Then you wait. Boom.
Oh,
Wow. So what was that like 6-7 seconds between it flying by and so the
Depending-
shock wave? Yeah.
Yeah.
которые зафиксированы за январь месяц. За январь месяц.
and the computer and the wardrobe and all this shit. Desks.
Russians, they looked mildly concerned. They're like,
oh, wow.
what could that be?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched when this happened. I watched all this shit. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, just inside a room, you're doing your work. You're not thinking about nothing. You're just trying to wrap up your day and just boom, smash. But you think the whole world's about to end.
Yep.
So 1.5% chance that could be us. I think we're in good standing. It's a good bet. Say we're not going to get hit.
So far, it keeps changing. Within a week, it went from like 1 point something to 3.2.
Well,
within 2 days.
Yeah.
I got to look back into this, but Randall said in his interview that like last summer we had a really like disturbingly near miss.
Whatever happened to the big bus-sized? Maybe it was longer than a bus. It's like a big anomaly that they didn't know what it was. And it seemed like it was being piloted. You remember that story? It was like
Oumuamua?
Yeah. What happened
That's
to
bigger
that?
than a bus. That's way bigger than a bus.
Maybe I'm mixing things
Oumuamua-
up.
It
Oumuamua
changed trajectory and then
and
sped up.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
what
it's
happened to that?
Totally normal. It's
with no trail. With no trail. So
no
it wasn't-
trail.
That's
Just
the weird
passed.
part, because when things change trajectory, it's usually because gases are melting and it's like it's going in one direction, so it's being pushed. And there was no trail, so there was no real explanation for why it changed.
And it
trajectory.
didn't come from the Oort cloud, or it came.
No,
from
it was interstellar.
It was interstellar space, and then another one came after that. But I don't know if that one
Really?
sped up. But this one sped up. Yes, yeah. Another one came
How
after
about
that.
Interesting.
So that's what they're like. Man, this is a probe, and an actual scientist came out and said, "Yeah, this thing." You know, and it was a joke, but the way it was shaped, it looked like the Battlestar Galactica. It did.
Yeah.
Okay, I
So
can see it.
yeah, and he was like, maybe there was a sail because it sped up when it slingshot had its little slingshot. It went around the sun. So that was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, these are the things like fuck climate change, fuck all this stuff. This is stuff that should actually keep you up at night and worry you, because a little rock from space could put us back to the Stone Age. So if placed in and then another thing, if it's big enough and it hits in the right place, like say this 130-foot meteor hits within 10 miles of the San Andreas Fault. Well, it's gonna it could kick off an earthquake.
Yeah, that's not going to be good for Hollywood.
It's true.
It ain't gonna be good for Hollywood. Hollywood will be leaving Hollywood at that point. Yes.
Josiah video coming in.
Just Josiah video on its way. So yeah, this stuff fascinates me. And now we know we can nudge them, but we need a lot of notice. The interviewer from Before School is like, what's 30 days do? Randall's all nothing. But in 10 years, it might be able to do something. So this is something that he's been sounding the alarm for. And I guess some people at Space Force are finally starting to listen. And that's what Space Force can exist for. Not bombing people from space, but maybe like moving asteroids. Maybe that should be its entire mission. And I'm for it.
They made fun of it too, dude. It was so annoying when Trump first established that, and it was made a big joke. They literally made a Steve Carell comedy show based around how stupid the idea is. I'm like, guys, we're going to space. It
And
is.
it's actually not. Even people who
not
didn't
stupid at
like
all.
Trump were going, no, it's kind of a good idea. We needed to do this.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I think it's one of his best ideas.
Yeah.
Because it could lead to, for one, the reason they're not hauling ass to go exploit these minerals, it's very hard, it's very expensive, but so is digging for fucking oil in the middle of the ocean. So we're probably pretty close to being able to do it. But the thing is, it would upset the economy. I think we talked about it last show. There's rare metals that won't be so rare anymore.
Right. Yeah. Well, and it's smart just for security reasons. What happened after he started that department? Elon went into space. So that's private sector putting people into space. So that could be a problem if bad people get in, their hands on technology like that. You need to be able to protect yourself from space.
Yep.
How is that a dumb, guys?
I think
Like, space is serious.
The real goal of getting these asteroids to be mined is not necessarily to even bring it back to Earth. It's more to be able to use those to build spacecraft in space. Because part of the problem is getting the materials into space from Earth, because you just
being
need
able to
too
build them
much.
out there.
Right. Just
Well,
go
that's
and
the
mine that and then create, an entire spaceport essentially, or space construction zone.
The
Yeah.
Expanse
Need
goes
that.
into that. The Expanse goes in that. Speaking of Hollywood,
Such a good show.
Speaking of Hollywood, Garrett, Apple in talks to land Joseph Kalinsky, Jerry Bruckheimer UFO disclosure themed movie. So I'm down with Bruckheimer doing a UFO movie. Fucking 100%. Let's
Same.
go.
I think Spielberg, you said this earlier before the show, but I think Spielberg is also doing a disclosure movie.
I heard. I could have sworn I heard he was doing a disclosure movie. I mean, it's a great science fiction subject. You do a movie on like, how would this go down for real? Like if we really, you make up an alien race, or you know what? Don't do it with just one. It's got to be multiple. But the consultant for this movie is David Grush.
Yeah.
So one of the arguments for Grush, now listen, people need to make money. People need to earn their living. I am fine with that. Here's my point of view on this. I think he needs to pay his dues a little bit and earn some more trust before he jumps in and starts because he's a whistleblower, and one of the arguments was he's not writing a book, he's not going on tours or doing anything, but he's taking a consultant job in Hollywood. And like it doesn't the optics of it are bad. Whether like he needs the money or not, we can argue about that. He's free to do whatever he wants and not give a fuck about the optics. I'm just saying the overall optics for ufology are not great on this. For one, I would I think a better consultant would be Dolan, because he's written books speculating on this and he's researched it. Now Grush has access supposedly to real information, but there's still people who have studied this for a long time, and maybe we're just jumping to conclusions on this. I just don't think it's a great look.
Maybe he's one among a few. Yeah,
dude. Anything
bad timing.
Yeah, anything Chuck Schumer is behind and James Clapper is behind, I'm just going to be suspect.
Right.
Period.
Yeah,
like I want to believe this dude. I do, and maybe he's telling the truth, but
it's just so hard to believe you, and there's no proof of anything. When you've only said things that we've all heard. You've only said those things.
Wow, words. Wow.
Get in that skiff, bitch. Get in the skiff. I want to hear those words. I want somebody to hear them at least. You haven't said anything.
I wouldn't bring Schumer on. Like being bipartisan is one thing, but you bring on a guy who's worth what, $50 million, whose annual salary in Washington is what, 200,000, 180, 200,000. Yeah. He's worth $50 million. And I gotta trust him.
His wife might be an alien.
They did a study like 2 days ago about
that's for sure.
It's impossible to have that salary and not take bribes or insider trading.
Yeah.
They like basically proved it that any of these politicians that have like $50 million, they're all corrupt. Like you can't make that money without being corrupt.
Mm.
It's like, oh well, hey, that's like all of them.
It's like bing, 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 bing.
Well, I mean, X-ray girls here, do the basic math on how much a 210 million a year salary or 210,000 a year salary will get you up to, what is it, 81 million, chat? Is that what you said? 80. How long would it take you to save
81 million?
81 million? If you saved every penny and didn't pay a bill and didn't live off of any of it, how long would it take?
Never.
Yeah, Dan Crenshaw. I Patch McCain too. Don't forget that.
385 years. And that's not counting tax reduction.
That's not counting tax. That's just you get to keep all your money. It's 385 years to earn that much.
Insane.
Yeah, $81 million. So it's impossible. It's impossible.
Dang.
So yeah, I wouldn't want to have these people attached, and it's certainly feeling like an op, but even within an op, there's some truth. But it looks like it is what our very first suspicion was, to feed the military industrial complex. And they're going to fucking use UFOs, which means they might. Here's what I truly believe the government mostly knows. Jack shit. I think they know there's species out there. I think they have craft. I think they have reverse engineered and been able to figure out a thing or two here and there. But and maybe they've even worked out a deal with one race to, you can pluck some of our people if you just give us, and they're basically giving us technology which is equal to their toasters or something like that. Like I can believe that. But beyond that, I don't think they know much. And if whoever's completely in the know, it's a handful of people who are unelected, who we don't know about. Like even the highest ranking people don't know about. They don't want to be known. The shadow government, it's a shadow government for a reason. You don't know who the fuck they are. And they could be in plain sight. It could be somebody we're seeing every day. But that's what I think we know. I think it's mostly jack shit. I think we're aware of something, but as far as making it work and knowing what their actual motivations are, I don't think we know. I don't think we know. You know, I don't believe Stephen Greer. I don't.
Same.
Yeah. He has something about him, you know? He's got a greasiness.
Bring me some actual evidence and I'll change my mind. Until then, I don't trust you. Lou Elizondo, I don't trust him. I just, all these guys, it's just.
I'd be happy to talk to him. Convince me.
I can't tell you. I can't. Sorry, I don't have the clearance for that. It's just like, you're not a whistleblower. They're not. None of these guys are whistleblowers. Yeah, they're approved. I have to get what I say approved. It's like, what are you whistleblowing? No, you're a mouthpiece for them. You still have security clearance. Like, what do you mean? Snowden is a whistleblower. All right, that's what a whistleblower looks like. These guys are freaking dude.
Yeah. Doesn't count if you get your stuff approved first.
Right.
It's not
whistleblowing.
Stupid.
Or is he like, oh, I'm promising to whistleblow. I'll do it. I'll whistleblow. Well, shut up until you do.
David Grush, a former
whistleblowers get taken out.
Yeah.
Right? Seth Rich. You know what I mean?
They have to leave the country and stay there.
Adam,
you can't come back.
that was just a robbery. That happens all the time. That was not
totally normal.
Assassination.
And then the car just crashed, you know what I mean? It just it
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David Grush, a former U.S. Air Force intelligence officer and Pentagon whistleblower. He's not even looking at this. There's not even a whistle in the room. Who gained attention in 2023 for his claims about the U.S. government's involvement in unidentified aerial fucking UFOs. I'm saying it. I'm not going to give their rebranding. I refuse. I resist. UFO research will executive produce and serve as a consultant on the UFO project.
Oh, he's executive producing?
Wow.
Oh,
Gary just exited out himself.
Wow. They got to him.
They're getting the whistleblowers. They're not whistleblowers are getting him.
Zorbu, bring him back.
Please.
Come on, Zorbu.
He's working on bringing him back.
You know, YouTube owns Chrome. and Chrome just fucking died. It goes snap. So the thing you want people to do YouTube on, it sucks. It's fucking trash.
Yeah. Don't ever use Chrome.
Yeah.
Well, you have to share
I
stuff
can't use
on
it.
StreamYard.
That's
don't
the
use
only
it.
reason I use
If you
it.
use it, if you use a different browser to use StreamYards, then you can use that browser that you're using StreamYards for.
Sometimes Firefox, I like Firefox. That's what I've been using. Right.
That's what I use.
I'm using Brave.
Fucking dog
Me
shit.
too.
My son uses Brave. Where was I? U.S. government involvement. God damn it, Zorbu, my ass hurts now. Once a niche easy to discuss topic,
That was
UAP
fast. Sorry.
He's quick.
Quicker
With
than
it. He's a
us.
quick one.
Yeah.
You
He's an
are-
expert.
Have moved from the fringes of conspiracy theories into mainstream discussion in recent years, largely due to a declassified military footage and government acknowledgement. We've seen 2 videos over and over again. Let's be real.
Yeah.
The best videos aren't declassified. It's that model who took a fucking had the video outside the plane. That's the best UFO video I've ever seen, ever.
According to Grush, they've got 4K videos, and it's like bullshit.
Put
I
them
love
in
what
my
Kyle-
hands.
Show me. Show me them.
I love how Kurt Metzger put it. I risked my entire career to tell you I might know something.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. He did say it.
Part of
perfectly.
the shift in perception came in 2017 with the New York Times report, blah, blah, blah. In subsequent years, the U.S. Department of Defense has confirmed the authenticity of several classified Navy videos showing fast-moving objects and pilots that could not be identified. Congressional hearings in 2022 and 2023 further legitimized the topic, with intelligence officials emphasizing national security concerns. Grush himself spoke out in 2023, asserting that the U.S. government had been secretly recovering and studying non-human craft. Okay, yeah, like this is stuff we've talked about. If you've listened to Art Bell, this is stuff I believe, for decades, which of course sparked even more public interest. Balin penned the script for the Oscar-winning drama King Richard. I wanted to see this movie. I want to see it. Bruckheimer's awesome.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah,
It's gonna be good. Let's be real.
I can't wait to see the movie. But I just don't think it's really good optics at all.
Yeah.
At all. At all.
I wanted to, I wanted to believe him, man.
I want people. The truth has to come first. If the truth comes first and you get a little bit of truth out there, it'll be so crazy. You're going to make money off it anyway. Right. And I understand you got to pay your bills. Researching UFOs is difficult. It takes a lot of your time. And if you want to do it professionally, do it because you want to get to the truth. And if you sell a couple books here and there, that's fine. I have no problem with that. Like, do it. I'll read them. I'll read the damn books and buy them. I love this shit. But once it goes there, and like he just came on the scene recently.
Yeah.
And it's really like people cannot get mad at people who are into this topic for years. All of a sudden, we're expected to believe the government. I want to. There's a lot of this stuff I suspect is true, but I think it's just obfuscated by a bunch of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this whole thing is. And that we saw the second guy come out and have nothing to say. Lou Elizondo backed. It's just the same thing over and over. Just trying to get that.
Yep.
Everybody back on the wagon. Get into
he had
it.
an emotional connection with it, though.
They lost me on that one.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, they went
I
too
don't
far.
remember.
No,
It made him
It's like
feel
lead up
loved
to that.
like he's never felt before.
Yeah,
I have
like,
feelings.
don't
Feeling
lead
heart,
with that.
emotions.
If we're trying to get the public like, don't lead with the woo-woo. Like, just don't. And listen, when this stuff was coming out, and I was talking about it when it was coming out, I'm like, I want to believe this shit. I'm going to be open to it. I'm going to be open to it. Now we are 5, 6, 7 years later. It's like all we have is those the fast mover and the 2017 article. We really haven't gotten any real new information outside of the Pentagon saying a couple of those things are real, but that's it. But we haven't, there's no smoking gun. There's no better video. They keep telling us the fast mover has a fucking high res video. Fuck it. If it's real, then release the fucking video.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just a lot of fake stuff. Damn those Mexican aliens.
Yeah.
They look like cakes.
Wow. They're keeping X-ray girl.
I meant, oh my God.
They look like cakes.
He poured them
Pile
all.
on them. You're not
Right?
you can pile on them right now.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Certainly what it sounds like.
You are ruthless.
Ice's #1 supporter over here.
She's just trying to distract so she could stay in America a little longer. He's like, those ones over there.
Yeah, look over there.
Don't look at the snow Mexicans.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Snow Mexicans. WG is gifted 5 Nerdrotic Live memberships for $25. Hail WG! See ya, Cosmic Summit, buddy. Quantum Sledgehammer is gifted 5 for $25. Thank you. And Josh Kelsey has dropped 20 and walks away because that's what Josh does. B-Chain 315 for 20 says Rome was founded around 2,500 years ago. And look at how much it changed. Egypt, till Rome conquered, was around that long at the minimum. Mind-blowing to consider how they must have viewed and manipulated their world back then. Yeah. So I've come across Burn for $20. So I've come across how in the late Neolithic, right before the pyramids, over a period of about 90% of all males died on a global scale, but women were unaffected, implying conflict. It shows in our DNA. It is all. It was so cataclysmic. Well, it might have still been a cataclysms, like save the women and children first, and we'll go out and forage or make sure, or we're digging the tunnels. There was a lot of consensus out there back in the day that like humans weren't warring with each other, and it was like very peaceful hunter-gatherers. No, we were fucking killing the shit out of each other. Okay. Yeah.
Just look in nature. Like, there's so much death out there. There's no way we were peaceful, loving. No, it's not in our nature.
Yowie for $20 on the stream website says, "G'day, cunts. Yowie here," which is Aussie for Bigfoot. Some of you dickheads may know me as Dulaga, Jimbra, or even Wawi. Just don't call me a wristy slag, or I'll be madder than a cut snake. I should be doing this in an Australian accent, but I can't really do it. Anyway, I'm no earth basher, so I'll wrap it off. Hooroo. Fucking Aussies are weird, man.
They're wild, and I love them.
We love them. By the way, 20 more from Yowie. Says, hey, been a while. Not no easy way to say it, but Zorbu's crew had to take another job to pay the bills since your autistic human cut off our hands with USAIDs. Anyway, I'm a consultant now, and screw y'all if you don't like it. Mama needs a new pair of shoes. They're going to be awfully big. Buster Nut Smash for $10 says, hey, Gary, I gave X-Ray Girl a couple of books. I have them. They are in my research library. Thank you for my library. In my library.
Get that library number.
I love older UFO books. Thank you, brother. I've got them. Thank you. I hope you like them. How about a meetup in Kansas City? Peace. Maybe when it thaws out, bro. Western Civilization for $10. Where exactly is the Forbidden Frontier? Can you point to it on an action figure? I can. But I won't.
Oh my God.
It's wherever you want it to be. Anonymous for $1 says, hail, USA Familia. How am I the last one to hear about lunatic taking a hammer to the 12-angled stone? Oh, that's right.
Oh, dude.
Insane. Still haven't gotten access to the comics. Sorry.
It's insane that it broke the hammer.
Yeah, extremely resilient. Like it was just a couple of little dings on it. But
why did they do it? By the way,
wait, what is this? I don't know what you're talking
You
about.
didn't
know about
hear
this?
about it?
No.
Let me see if I can find a video.
I don't know what their
happened?
motivation
So the
was.
12-angled stone is in
Peru.
In Cusco, Peru.
We've seen it.
We
touched
saw it while we were there. Yeah, it's a crazy.
Rub the nubs.
It's got 12 different sides to it. But somebody came and smashed it with a hammer, and it broke the hammer. That's
like
how
the metal
how,
broke, or the handle.
Like the
broke?
metal, like it. I guess it broke apart.
It
I don't
did
know if
like
the metal-
minimal damage to.
It did like a couple little nicks in it, but it was overall pretty. It was still fine. I don't know the ideology behind it, or if it was just a crazy person.
They're
Was
gonna-
it some
they're
kind of
gonna-
free Palestine thing?
They're gonna rope it off now. You know they are.
Which sucks. You can't go to it because it was just in the streets. Like you could just walk over to it and
You could touch it, take
and touch
pictures
it,
with
yeah.
it. We did.
Yeah.
This is the
It might be somebody who hates all the tourists. I don't know.
damage.
That's it.
Yeah, just a couple little.
That looks like when it rains, that'll wash away. You know.
Probably will. But fuck them for doing it. What a piece of shit.
That's crazy.
Do we know why they did it?
Yeah, does it say why?
Anyone?
Could grok it.
Not that I've seen.
Hey.
Good thing they used a wish.com hammer.
12 side stone.
Probably stop oil. That would be my guess.
That's what I'm. Yeah, either that or Free Palestine, because I saw there were a few of those Free Palestine graffitis around.
There was.
Peru.
There was.
Yeah. So the damage is irreversible, of course, because I don't think they can fix the stone.
Oh, it was a drunk? Well, I mean, yeah. I can believe that too.
The heck?
Lionheart 617 for $5 says, it always shocks me that Quarterback Garrett somehow went from Crowder to Gary. Why does it shock you?
Yeah.
Why? Moving
Had a
on
bad
up in the
job,
world.
we got a good job.
Yeah.
Hey.
Talking about. Incredible.
People move around. They do that.
And I'm glad you're here too. See?
There you go. People move around. I left Tesla for this job. Still might be questionable.
Worth it.
Yeah, a little bit worth it. A little bit. Nick Guard for this is 2 parts for $15. I remember back in the day listening to Howard Stern before he became a massive cuck. Billy Corrigan briefly talked about once seeing a reptilian shapeshifter. I remember. At the time, I thought he was nuts. Now I'm here in 2025, and I want him to come on Forbidden Frontier and explain how he saw in more detail how times people change. I would talk to Billy Corrigan anytime. Fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I like the whole Bill Burr potentially being his brother thing.
They look.
I think they
Billy
are though.
Corrigan's-
Didn't they
Yeah,
talk to
they-
each other and like
They talked about it. Yeah, I don't know if they
their dad was like a traveling salesman kind of vibe.
Yeah, one's cool and one's a fucking idiot. So Master Gawa for $5. I love the idea this show, but you need more guests. Call everyone that's ever been on C2C AM, invite them on, allow them to be audio only if boomers.
We're working on it.
We're working on it. They're basically, he just said that we're terrible without guests. That's
I do like a mix of guests and doing these types of coverages, though.
Yeah.
well, we had to kind of wing this show too because I just came home.
20-hour
Drove
drive.
20 hours
20-hour
yesterday.
drive there. That's rough.
Basil, it is rough. Basil 578 for $10. Maybe the meteor lands in Santa Monica Bay and the LA fires are finally extinguished way too soon. Maybe the Russian meteorite shockwave sounded like Metalocalypse was playing. Saw quarter black head banging. Yes, he did. He's a metalhead. Southeastern Kaiju for $1 says drinks with konzu is now on my list of excuses for missing work. There you go. All is well. Scorpion stings as a scorpion stings. There you go. Baron von Tossington for $5. Who all is going to the Sacred Geometry Workshop with Randall Carlson next weekend? I wish I could go, but I can't.
Yeah.
Is it going to be on HowTube though? If it's on HowTube,
is it live streamed?
I think
Yeah.
he has
is it?
live streaming for that, I think.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it on live stream. I'll do that. Dragon Sworn for $5. Gary, even the Bible says homicide began with the second generation. Shout out to Dawn Champion, fellow nerd/geek. She had a riding accident last Friday. Oh no. In the hospital, internal injuries, medical induced coma.
Oh wow.
Damn.
Electronic unicycle accident. Holy shit. Brian, that's sad. I hope she gets out of the coma. Thanks for the $10. Incel speed run for $10. Why do people still believe the Fauci garbage? I don't know. It's 2025 and they're not tired of taking jabs. It'd be shocking, but it proves that some Americans are more senile than POTUS 46 and his VP. Yeah.
Well, the VP was drunk, to be fair. Just
yeah. Which could make, I mean, that's technically senile. Same thing, I guess.
Well, going back to last week when Kurt was on, there is that genetic trait that people just are kind of like sheep. They just go along with what people say. The believability factor.
There's like no internal monologue. You know?
Yeah.
Just kind of.
Jimmy Dore and Kurt just did a bunch of videos on the head of the CDC and the one who was in charge of the COVID response coming out and saying, oh yeah, we never should have given it to kids. But the reason they recommended it for kids is because they felt like it would muddle the message. It would muddy the message to say, oh, only old people and with only old people with COVID morbidities should have it. So they said, it's better to just say everybody should have it. And now people are coming out and saying like, we disagreed with Fauci, but as Kurt put it, oh, great time to sound the alarm now.
Yeah.
Right. A little late.
5 years later.
Late.
When everyone who did sound the alarm for years
was silenced,
vilified, and canceled, and all this stuff. Yeah.
Zorbu for $20 on the Streamlabs side. Hey, been a while. No easy way to say it, but Zorbu's crew had to take another job to pay bills once your autistic human cut off our funds from USAID. Anyway, I'm consulting now. Mama needs new pair of shoes. Isn't that the same one that Yowie just sent?
I had the wrong name. I'm sorry, Yowie and Zorbu.
She's great.
They're way different. They're way different.
Louis C for $10 should have sneak the Blatt tractor video in this compilation. Maybe I should have. Opinion Rat for $5. When you go to Egypt, will you go through the desert on a horse with no name? I'm sure it will be good to get out of the rain. We'll be on a camel with no name. On a camel. Thunderstorm. Name your camel horse, and then that solves the problem.
lead him to water.
Lead him to water.
But you can't make him drink.
Can't make him drink. Thunderstorm for $4.99. Nikolai Tesla believed pyramids were a global energy grid. He replicated it, and the Russian researchers created the Tesla town powered by wireless energy. Yes. Poor Tesla.
Such a shame what they did to him.
Well, yeah, you got to know how to play the game. And he was just he was just a scientist. He wasn't interested in playing games. And man, how many people have been just fucking steamrolled because of that? Sucks.
Yep. Yeah.
I just returned from Egypt. Sam says columnar Basil for £5 My Egyptologist guide said the Serapeum said the Serapeum mystery. It has no soot marks on the ceiling. How was it lit? Gary, get there. Yes. That's been the mystery of a lot of tunnels that we found is there's no bar. It's like, how did they now that bar might have been mirrors, but that would still be really fucking hard.
It's true.
And did they have mirrors?
That was what I was going to ask. Dude, they have mirrors in that time in India.
Well, if they can polish,
maybe really polished metal, maybe.
Eric John Pizza Art. What's up, brother? How's it going? What's up? Pumped to be able to catch you guys live for a change. Actually making an Alien and Pyramids pizza next week. God, pizza sounds good. Is there any word about Ancient Apocalypse 3? I'm sure there will be one, but it's going to be a couple of years. I wonder what Graham's doing next.
Took 2 years.
Well, is Graham going to do another book, or does he do Ancient? It's probably easier for him to do Ancient Apocalypse 3. Plus, he's getting up there.
Yeah.
Randall needs to do a special. They need to do a special with Randall. But I hope there's an Ancient Apocalypse 3. I love both those shows, both seasons. Reverend John for $5. I can't recommend enough Land of Chem's YouTube page on the pyramids. Yeah, they talked to him in the Megalithomania video, and it's very good. Yeah, Land of Chem. Go subscribe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they give him credit because it was. I think it's him who initially brought the whole
connection
with the ammonia fertilizer theory.
Skinwalker comes back in 2 months. Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah.
Back in
Okay.
2 months.
All right.
And
Okay.
apparently it's a big season. The live show that Garrett missed, unfortunately, was fucking awesome.
You don't have to rub it in.
But hey,
It was
Dragon
really
wasn't
good.
there. Dragon wasn't there. That's all. You know.
No, Dragon was not there, but it was still
No
really
dragon.
good.
No dragon. No peace.
There you go. Jeremy the Cyborg for $5. I had a friend that wanted me to watch the Mimi Minutemen.
Mini
Mini
Minutemen.
Minuteman.
It says Mimi X-ray
I have
girl.
no idea.
I like his videos. His videos are great.
Yeah,
Mini
he has a lot of good
Minutemen,
stuff.
where he tried to debunk Graham Hancock with Occam's
Occam's.
razor and lava tubes. I lost interest.
He's definitely coming from a certain point of view, and he's trying to debunk stuff. And in his videos, I don't like the way he's very snarky, he's very YouTubery, just trying to like make a joke all the time. But when he's in a live stream, I've seen him in real life settings where he's just talking to people, a whole lot more cordial and a lot more entertaining. I felt like it's just very snarky in his videos, but I understand if you don't like
That's terrible to be snarky. It's awful. Matthew Hammond for $2. Where's Lucky? We're lucky the moon was not hit. Tides would stop. Yes, they would.
Yep.
Accident seller for 20 Norwegian krona. Amua. They should have called it Rama. Number 3s.
Okay.
Jose Contreras for $1. As a kid, I used to take out a lot of UFO ghosts. I used to take out a lot of UFO ghosts and people being hit by meteorite books at my school library. My biggest fear was getting hit by a meteorite as a kid and being abducted by aliens. LOL. I believe it. There was a ring cam video from about a month ago of a meteorite landing in somebody's porch. Did you guys see that?
No, that's
Yeah.
cool though.
Yeah, just a little teeny one, and it's so, like it was shot. It was like a bullet. Cape Gabe for $5. Funny you mentioned space mining. It was the subject I used to test Grok 3. It is totally doable with today's tech. It explained it in clear terms. I believe it is. Wolvie the Quarter Jew for $5 says 4 species we deal with, and the rest are just space Mexicans. So I've been told. Space Mexicans? That would be a funny movie. That would be a funny movie. Space Mexicans. That'd be hilarious. That should be Cheech and Chong's final movie. Burn for $5. All I know is not only are the lizard men out there, but they have been government leeches for decades, living off our Social Security. Get a real job. That's where all that Social Security is going, guys.
The geckos.
John Kennedy for $5. Ever think about having Ashton Forbes on going down his rabbit holes on 0 Point Energy and MH370? Yes, we should. I think
he's great.
I follow him and he follows me on Twitter. Accident seller for 20 Norwegian krona. How will Doge affect UFO transparency? I don't know. It seems it's been kind of quiet for we want to know about UFOs, but so I'm all about transparency. Don't stop at Kennedy and MLK. Let's get to the UFOs.
Still waiting on that doc though. Where are those docs? Where's the list?
It was supposed to be 10 days, wasn't it?
The Epstein
Where's
list.
the Epstein list?
Where is it? Basil 578 for $2. Karen Bass would then fire the meteor too. Yes, and she would investigate herself for firing the meteor.
We're gonna have an investigation to figure out what went down here.
Historic alien plans getting us to make Star Wars. Aurora Uplinks for $2. Well, we're failed now. We're done for because we can't make movies anymore. Corey Belfast for $5 says, thank you, Nerdrotic and friends, for all that you do. You got me and my family through the pandemic, and you bring hope to entertainment business. Cheers. Thank you. Matthew Hammond, Stargate SG-1 looks great on Prime Video. It does. Is it better than the Blu-rays, Matthew? Is it better than the Blu-rays? I'm going to have time to watch it now. All right, that's it. That's all. That's all for tonight. Next week, Andrew Collins, Hugh Newman. So you get your wish. You'll get a couple of guests, and it should be fucking amazing. And I can't wait to do the homework. So the homework for you, if you choose to accept it, is go to their channel and watch all their stuff, or as much as you can.
Yeah.
That's the
And
latest.
we're gonna be talking about
a lot of
Stonehenge.
stuff.
That's
It's
a
about,
lot.
it's about a decade's worth
But
of
if you haven't
stuff.
watched it,
All
you
their
You
things.
should.
should
But
be
yeah,
watching anyways.
Stonehenge, and I think we're gonna talk a little bit about Gobekli Tepe and some of the
Probably
stuff that's
Karahan
happened
as
there.
well.
Karahan, yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Cool.
There you go. What do you got coming up, Adam?
I'm just doing my show, base F, and then I do a Friday night jam, which has just been a lot of fun. People are bringing new music to me, and I play new music, and yeah, it's just been a blast. Check it out, Crigler Show.
Love it.
Awesome, Garrett.
Just my channel. Hey, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Normal World's returning. Dave is back from his tour. He did a tour. Actually, I think he's still on the tour, but he's going to be on the show via Skype. So he's going to be there with us Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Normal World. Check it out.
Excellent. X-Ray Girl, what do you got coming up?
Tomorrow, the nooner at 11 a.m., I think, Central Time. And then I might play a game. Might be Mortuary Assistant sometime in the afternoon, evening. That game is hella scary. And I
You're
died
welcome.
like twice already. The demon possessed me.
Nice.
Which sounds about right. So yeah, we'll play a bit of that. And Kara might scare me IRL again. There's a clip out there, and it was very, 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 very scary.
Messed up, Kara.
I know.
That was
I know.
hilarious.
I mean, the timing of that was great because I got scared in game, and then she scared me IRL, and it just scream after scream. So yeah, there are a couple of super chats here. Matthew Hammond for 2. I think we said Stargate season. Did we read that one already? I'm
It's
Yes.
Japanese Demon Lord Abir Lucifer for 5 says reminder that Trump's uncle was the FBI agent that gathered up all of Tesla's boxes
Yes.
and information.
Yep.
It's not actually technically
It-
true, but
What's the truth?
well, John Trump was brought in by the DOD to analyze Tesla's stuff to see if it was able to be released to the public, and he acknowledged that like, oh, this stuff it's fine, there's nothing. So he was actually a government employee. He didn't like go in like I originally had thought that he acquired
Yeah,
it all.
I thought that's what you
But
said. Yeah.
that's not the case. Yeah, I looked further into this, and he basically was working for the government and was the guy that went and like analyzed all of Tesla's available stuff. Now, that's the stuff that came out publicly. I'm assuming there's got to be experiments that they were like that he was like, okay, this obviously is you can't release this publicly, and it's not like they're going to be public about that.
Right.
So,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's not like the Trump family owns Tesla stuff. Yeah, that's not the case.
Aurora Uplinks for 2 says, wait, what about member chats? There's a few here. Do you want me to read through them quickly,
Read
Carrie?
through them. Oh, we got Hi King Feanor.
Yeah, Traveler says, wow, actually catching one of these at the beginning. Hope all are doing good. Jeremy the Cyborg has become a traveler. Brian McCann says, Mana Machine makes super food needed cleaning every Sunday. John Platt says, hail, Gary, QBG, X-Ray, Adam, and the Forbidden Frontiers mod and chats. I love your coverage of the ancient lost civilizations and paranormal crypto. John Kennedy says, if this was for making ammonia, why does it need to be inside a huge pyramid structure? I did think about it, and maybe it's temperature regulation. Maybe.
Maybe.
That makes sense.
Logan Miller says, there's a period in Greece that appears to be exploded. The Raven and the Writing Desk, I recommend.
Sorry, I just wanted to add to that. Like the reason there's also a lot of pressure. And to be able to contain the amount of pressure to have something to contain that,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
it would
compressing
need
it.
a lot of that weight, right? I'm just
Maybe.
Sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Raven and the Writing Desk, I recommend reading Case Against Reality by Donald Hoffman through 200 pages in regular English. Mind-blowing. And Aurora Uplink says, has anyone tried to make a restaurant for aliens to visit? Maybe it would become popular. You have worldwide food named for space things. I think you have to make sure there's creatures out there first, otherwise your audience would be nil.
like, could they eat what we eat though?
Yeah,
That's true.
But it's a good question. I think it's a good idea. It's great franchise opportunities
For the future.
for sure.
Aurora says, I love to imagine the world Tesla could have made for $2. Thank you.
I know.
Me too.
Matthew for
Fucking
2
good.
says SG1 first 3 seasons on Prime are 16:9.
Okay.
Daneska for €5 says, I'm not gay and Gary isn't either. Good. But if he asks me to marry him, I'd say yes and give him a hug. No homo. Okay.
You are gay.
Aurora for 2.
Okay. But
Would
thank
love
you.
a Ghostbuster movie with Ghost Tesla. Oh, that'd be cool.
That would be cool.
And Matthew Hammond for 2 says SG1 first 3 seasons look to have upscaled in 4:3.
Is that the Blu-ray, Matthew? That
Maybe
upscale?
on Amazon.
I don't
Oh,
mind
wait,
the
no.
4:3 because if you're doing 16:9, it wasn't shot that way, so you're cutting out stuff. I'd rather watch it. I'd rather watch the 4:3. Unless it was shot that way. Like X-Files is all widescreen, 16:9, and it looks fantastic. Like whoever did the X-Files, it looks great.
So they shot it full screen. Because
They
like we know that TNG was not shot that way. It was shot specifically for the square, TVs that we had back then. So
4:3.
now that
4:3.
it's expanded, it it has like stuff on the edges that wasn't meant to be seen, but that was shot like film. That's cool.
I can't even remember when widescreen started becoming a thing.
LED TVs, maybe?
Late 90s?
That was late 90s,
Oh.
I think.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe earlier than that.
I can't
I
quite
don't know.
remember.
You
I
guys
used to know, but I don't know anymore.
You guys are insane. You keep giving soups and
thanks.
whatnot. Jeff, thank you for the Nerdrotic Live membership. Sophie with the 2 pens says, Hail USA Familia.
We miss you, Sophie.
And Mod Eric K for $1 on the Rumble side says, has anyone read the Alien book To Serve Mankind? I've never heard of it.
Was it Sony Triniton? I had one. I had a Sony Vega. Remember those big fucking TVs?
Oh my God, they were like thousands of pounds, it felt.
Yeah.
Big screens? Yeah.
No,
that's how you knew your friend was rich.
Dude, we got one, right? And then we had to hire like 2 Samoan guys because my front door was on the 2nd story in San Francisco.
Oh my God.
You had to walk up 16 steps to get to my front door. Probably why our house never got fucking.
So you had an
robbed?
LCD that was massive with that big ass.
And it weighed like
a ton.
400 or 500 pounds.
Yeah.
It was
Those
fucking ridiculous.
tools.
We had one of
It was
those.
2 giant
expensive.
Samoans came in there, and like I can't even remember who got it out of there, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Oh,
But
and
it was like top tier TV at the time, man.
Oh yeah.
yeah. We
Yeah.
got one more, but I can't read it. This is from Zorbu for $20. Can one of you read Spanish? It's in the private chat.
No.
It's in the private chat. Hang on.
Okay.
Other than that, no.
Quingaro nos llamo Mexicanos especiales.
Sorry, but I don't even believe you could read this. Why are you doing this to us?
Quien carajo? Because J is H. Nos llamos Mexicanos especiales. Queado y riado de Los Angeles. Buenas adicción. Nosotros nos tenemos. Oh God, I forgot the
Burritos,
one.
taquitos,
No. Más
tacos.
influencia. Querido y riado de Los Angeles. It's the opening of Ritual de la Habitual, where basically it says we are more influential over your children than you are.
Oh.
Jane's Addiction. Yeah.
Well,
Big Cut
Google
Stealing.
says-
You've heard that song?
Google says,
I
who
butchered
the hell
it.
called
I
us
don't care.
space Mexicans?
No.
Space Mexicans. That would be a fucking awesome movie.
Oh
They
my
fly
God.
around in tacos and sombreros.
Literally in them.
No, yeah, and then and their fighters
Flag.
are like their fighters are lowered, car with lowered Chevys and stuff.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
Mod Eric K for $1 says To Serve Mankind. It was a Twilight Zone episode. The aliens had a book they finally translated as people were being
Yes.
loaded
the
up to serve
monsters on
mankind.
Maple Street.
It was a
Or
cookbook.
to serve man. To serve man. To serve
It was a
man.
cookbook. Disappointed in the panel. Well,
To serve
I
man.
need
I'm
to
used
do
to
a
it.
full watch. I've only watched like sporadic episodes of Twilight Zone, but I've never
You need
done
to
like
watch
a
the whole
full.
thing. It's one of the greatest shows ever written.
X-Files is on the docket first for
Yeah, it's like X-Files, Twilight Zone.
yeah. Cool. I think we're caught up.
Hot pepper lasers. That would be dangerous, chat.
Oh my god. Just throwing cayenne at you.
Habanero.
There's different variations on how much you want to hurt them.
I want a squadron of quesadillas.
Oh my god.
I won't say anything else.
Taquitos are like spears almost.
I was gonna go so much darker now. We're gonna stop it right there. Okay.
There you go.
We're gonna stop it right there. We'll see you next week with Hugh Newman and Andrew Collins.
Yeah. See ya.
Sweet. Bye,
See ya.
everyone.
Welcome to the Forbidden Frontier.